提到留学呢，立刻会想到中介。在国际教育市场，除了中介，其实还有另外一种咨询模式，叫做独立教育顾问 （Independent Education Consultants）。这两者的区别有2点。第一点呢，在于它的收费模式。中介他从学校不仅仅要收返佣，同时还要从客户这边拿一个咨询费。然而呢，独立教育顾问是只能从客户这边收取咨询费用的。第二点呢，在于认证机构。其实独立教育顾问呢，在美国是一个非常普及而且历史悠久的职业。作为一个专业认证的顾问，你在学校面前的信誉和话语权是非常的大的。那么在美国能够提供认证的平台是叫做 IECA Independent Education Consultant Association 美国独立教育顾问协会。今天呢，我们有幸请来了 IECA 的创始人，也是前主席 Lloyd Paradiso。And
in China, where a market is rampant with agents and agencies, because the consulting model is actually something that's quite novel in this market. It would be interesting if you could share with us from a school's perspective, when they are working with agents versus when they're working with IECA consultants, how are they different? Why is it that IECAs get more credit?
I don't always fault the agents for filling a role that some of our schools have kind of made perfect for them.
Right.
Let me give you an example or two. I know you know what I'm talking about, but let me just kind of talk about that a tiny bit. Most of our schools in their application process will ask for teacher recommendations, transcripts, essays and so forth, counselor recommendations, those kinds of things that just don't exist in Chinese schools.
Right.
And even if they did, even if a Chinese school had a guidance counselor, who's to say that person would know the kid to begin with, and second, they could write in perfect English that kid's, characteristics to make it useful to the admission person. Transcripts, verification of transcripts, things of that nature, the letters of recommendation alone. Some school applications, many of them ask for parents to write about their children. How many Chinese parents can even speak English, let alone write it? And how many American kids can write, or parents can write it? But seriously, think about that. And yet, when you as a school insist that those elements must be part of a complete application to be reviewed for acceptance, where do you fill in the gaps?
Right.
Appear the agencies. Enter the agents. So if the agents will do that work for the families because it's there to be done and it has to be done and the families are looking for resources, I blame the schools more than I blame the agents. Because the schools should be able to tell if a 14-year-old has 110 TOEFL and writes like Hemingway, something's not right.
Right.
And they can't really speak English that well. I would wager that their Mandarin's a little shaky grammatically and things like that too, but that's not an issue. I fault the school more than I fault the Chinese agent. What I do think is happening is that many schools have been so overwhelmed with the number of applicants, the sheer volume of applicants that they've received from China, that they have difficult times being able to discern who the legitimate ones are, who the sort of suspicious ones are, and how to know the difference. That's why VeriCan exists. That's why Initial View exists. I have no problem. In fact, I know lots of VeriCan people and Initial View people. I think Terry and Gloria are terrific at Initial View. I don't fault these organizations for doing what they do, and I think in many ways they perform a terrific service for both the Chinese student and parent and the schools. However, I place the onus, the responsibility on the schools. So ask how they make their money. Ask how they got to call themselves, or by what criteria they deem that they are professional consultants. And thirdly, I want to know some recent examples of the kind of work you've done.